Hello, welcome to Spy Money. We're going to talk about a big loser today. I'm the big loser. I didn't follow my rules. Just a complete loser on this one. I did everything that I tell you all not to do on this trade. And it's humiliating, but I'm transparent. If you're new to our group, you may not know it, but the people that's been in my group, I showed the good and the bad. So I don't pop up every little $100 loss or whatever. I don't promote it. I tell you I lost. Show my trades, stuff like that. You all always see my trades and know what I've done. I post everything that I bought in the day, everything I've sold in a day, and I just can't. I buy and sell so much anymore that it's kind of hard to keep track of every little one. But these big ones stick out to you, and I did exactly what I should not do. And I hate it. I hate it real bad. I know not to do it, and I did it anyway. And I didn't cut my losses either. So I could have cut my losses and been fine. So, yeah, I see you there, Robert. Bare my soul. I tell you what, the reason I'm doing this, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. I don't want you to do what I did. I trade Walmart all the time, and sometimes I think I know more than what the charts know, and I just do what Brad wants to do instead of doing what the charts say to do. And when you do that, it'll mess you up. So, first off, I want to talk, before I go into all that, I want to tell you, if you're not in our Discord group and you want to learn how not to do this, because I teach everybody not to do this in the Discord group and in my classes. So if you're wanting to make money and stay away from doing what I just did on this, then the Discord group would actually be good for you. We have a lot of good traders in there. Today, a lot of different people are talking about buy calls on the market because it's going up. We broke the channel. We're in a bullish channel, and this is it. We hit the bottom and we're gone. Well, in our group, we didn't do that. We said strong hands because it's going to drop. And so before I go into that, let me look over here at the market, and I want you to look at this. We had this classified as a bear flag. So right here's your pole, and here's your flag. Now, what's going on today, and I'm going to go on a recap on this later, but I just want to show this because our group was awesome today. We come down last night and they bought up all day, and this in itself is a bear flag right here as well. But we knew that this was going to be coming down, and everybody kept saying, well, not in our group, but across some of the Facebook groups and stuff I trolled through, everybody was talking about how their puts were in bad shape and this and that. Well, look where we are now, and we're still dropping. So I just wanted to cover that. So our group, strong hands, we did great. Now let's go back to humiliation. Humiliation, let's see, let me go back to a little bit better chart. Let's see if I can get into it this way. Okay, yeah, this would be good. All right, so what I did is I already made a bunch of money last week on, we'll do all this. I already made like $8,500 on this pop right here. And so I did well. $8,500 in a day's time is pretty good. And it kind of came over, and then it popped up again. A bunch of people in my group made a whole bunch more. It would have been nice if I'd have held, but I was happy with $8,500. And it actually went up. I said 125 that was my target, which would be about right here, and it actually went to 128.08. So if I'd have held to my original target, I probably would have almost tripled my profits on that. Because this right here would have just spiked at something incredible. But I'm still happy with my $8,500. What I'm not happy about is this went up and hit, close to that channel, and I didn't have this channel drawn out at the time, and that's my fault. I should have had the channel drawn out ahead of time, so I would have seen this. So the next day, I thought, I'm just going to jump in a scalp right here. And I was just going to jump in, and let me go to a 5-minute, make it a little better. I was just going to jump in and get me a quick buck out of it and get out. And I was just, I was planning on, trying to make like $1,000 on it. That was my goal. And let's see, where is that thing? Right here. So I was going to make $1,000 on it, and 128 was my target. And the reason 128 was my target was I had my fib wrong, and my fib was 128 and change, and it actually went up and went past that. Went past the fib it is now, 125.70, which was the fib I originally had in the beginning. So when I was doing all the other charting for the past. So 125 was my target all along, but for whatever reason I had my fib messed up, and I just don't even know what I did, but it had a 128. So I bought right here, down in here somewhere, and I bought $3,900 worth of calls. I bought, I don't even know how many it was. It was $3,900. Let's see, I've got, if I go back in, because I posted my big loss in the mistakes, and I had 20 calls on it. So, and I will go ahead and bring this over. Let's see if we can put that in the chart so you can, or the thing so you can see it. Whole screen. Let's see here. If we go down to, there it is. So right there is where I was with it. So that's my big loser. And it's actually $10 that's not included in this. So it's $37.40 is how much I lost. And I had 20 calls. I bought March 27th, 135 calls. And that's what I bought. So with that, I was talking to Deb Dawes, as you all know her in the chat. I was talking to her while I was trading it. And while I was trading it, I was up $610. So being up $610 was, good money. But like an idiot, I never sold it. So I should have done it. And it was just not good. Billy, I just read that. So I hate that. So hopefully you weren't buying expiration today. But this was last Friday when I bought it. So I was up $610 right in here. And it might have went up a little more, but I remember seeing $610. But I was holding out for 128. Well, when this started pulling back, I thought, well, this is just a little pullback and this is going to take off. So when it started pulling back and then it dropped, and then all of a sudden I was down to, break even down in here somewhere. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'm just going to hold out because it'll spike up again today. Stupid. Should not do that. I'm just not supposed to use that word, I guess, but I was being a real idiot about this. I should have just, when I went up and started pulling back, I should have just cut it right there, took my $500-$600, even if it was $100 profit, and walked away, and I would have had my $3,800. I would have had my extra $100. I just called it a day. Now, in our group, I never do day trades. I hardly ever do them, maybe a couple a month. But on this one, I listed it was high risk, and that it was a day trade. So anybody that was watching knew not to do that. So whenever I did that, and I just kept on holding it, and it kept on bleeding out and bleeding out and bleeding out. And here it is, we got the VWAP right there. I mean, that's an obvious sign that it's just going to keep on dropping. So it's bleeding out. Now I'm down to, probably 2,500 or so, something like that. I mean, it just keeps on dropping, keeps on going. And then all of a sudden it comes here, and I'm thinking, well, I'll just go ahead and swing it. Now this is on Friday. I shouldn't be, number one, I shouldn't have bought a option that expired the following Friday. Shouldn't have done it. I don't do that. From now on, I don't care, hell or high water. I'm buying 30-day plus. I'm not buying anything less. I don't care if I'm scalping it for the day. If you buy same week options and you scalp it that day, you're going to make a lot more money. But if something goes wrong, you're going to lose a lot of money. So I would rather be the little turtle and just make a little bit of money and not be greedy about it and not have to have the 1,000% gain on it when I can probably get 100% gain on a 30-day option. And if something goes wrong, you're fine. So on this one, I just kept on holding it. And I thought, well, it's selling off today. So if we go back to, let me look at a 15 because you've already seen the other. If we go back to the 15-minute chart, I'm thinking myself, this sold off and then it popped up, and then it sold off and then it popped up. So I'm thinking it's going to sell off right here and then pop up and hit my 28. So my pattern was actually correct. I mean, if you look at this, that pattern shows exactly the same move every day. The only thing different is the rabbit quit hopping. The rabbit just ended up dying off, and he just took off and slid down the hill. So where this made a lower high, that was my first clue that this was not going to do it. Because we're here. Now, if we would see how this one popped up here and then we made a new high. This one popped up and we didn't make a new high. So by not making a new high, that's my first clue that I was wrong. This should have, in the very beginning, this should have popped up and actually went above the 128.08. It should have went up, and if it did, then it probably would have sold off and then popped up again the next day. But I should have just sold it right along through here. Actually, when it went up and it pulled back, I should have sold it right there, but I didn't. So that's my mistake. I made a lower high, and then I thought I'll just hold it and it'll pop up. And then the next day, it tanks, and I'm down to, where I don't know the exact dollar, but I probably had $1,000 or $1,500 of that $4,000 or 38, whatever it is. And 4,000's in my head. It was 37 something. So that money is just being gone. So at this point, you're like, well, screw it. I'll just go ahead and hold it and hope for a better day. Well, the better day never come. As you can see, it sold off the whole entire time. If I would have bought puts right here, that $3,800 right here would probably be worth $15,000 or so. I mean, it would have been an astronomical number. But instead, I chose the wrong way. So when you're buying these, this is one of the biggest reasons I do not like to scalp, is because if something goes wrong, you're on a short term, and it's just not good. So I like to do longer swings and ride it out, have a long enough time to where if you get like a bad day, Walmart should not have sold off here. Walmart was getting good news, not on this day, not here, but Walmart got great news all morning right here. So I'm thinking with the news reports and everybody talking about how great it's doing, the stock's going up, regardless of what the market's doing and stuff. So I'm assuming that, well, this should take off. Well, the news reporters pumped it in order to get it to sell off. They were trying to sell off everything. And you got to watch the news. When they start talking about something, you can usually almost bank doing the total opposite of what they do. So anyway, this sold off. I lost, roughly $3,800 on it. I lost a lot of pride on it. And, that's just the way life is. I want everybody to know, one, I don't always win. And I made good money this week too. I made great money last week. So this, $3,800 is not that big of a loss to me for what I've made. But $3,800, I mean, $100 is a lot of money to me. I'll eat bologna sandwiches just so I can save money. So I am really cheap about a lot of things. Now some things I'll go all out on, but for the most part, I'm just really cheap. And some of my best friends, Deb and Stacy, they know how cheap I am about doing stuff because they will spend some money on stuff, and I'm just like, no, I ain't doing it. So I don't even drink pop or anything like that. I drink nothing but water. That saves me a lot of money. There's a lot of things I do to save money. So because I make big money doesn't mean that I don't know what money is, because I'm just a penny pincher. So this right here is like killing me that I lost that. Netflix was another one. I could have made $3,200 on it. And then the next day it started selling off, and I could only make like $2,200, and I didn't sell it again. Today I sold it because I got tired of it, and I made, I think it was $1,500 or so on Netflix today, where I could have made $3,200, and it bothers me that I didn't get that 32, but I still made about $1,500 or so on it. So this stuff bothers me, and what gets me is when I'm up here. And I'm up $610, and then it comes back. Well, I feel that I lost $610 now. I can't get it in my head that I can take this $100 and move on and made $100. But it gets in my head that I lost $510, and I'm trying to get it back. So that is where I mess up. And I know a lot of you do the same thing, but you have to cut your losses. Kev Rocky in the group today, I think it was today, was talking about, maybe it was last night, he was talking about that he would rather get half his money back as to let it bleed out and get nothing. Well, that's what I should have done. I should have cut my losses and lost $1,000, still been upset about it, but it wouldn't have been $3,800. So instead, I decided that I wanted to wait, and I just wanted to give them every single penny back. I didn't want any of that money back. So last Friday, I wrote them a check for $3,800 and said, have fun. That's exactly what I did. Where that $3,800, I could have done a lot of stuff with that. I could have taken $3,800 and put into another option and turned that into $20,000. So this is where I mess up, and yeah, I see yours, Robert. This is where we all mess up. We've got to cut our losses. The very first thing is we need to go longer expirations, because these short expirations will kick your butt. If you're wrong, your premiums will go to nothing. So in our group, I'm constantly talking about a certain date that we need to sell our options before. And if you don't, you're going to lose. And there's still some people in our group that are still buying these short-term options. And I tell them, you're nuts. There's just no way. It's your money. I won't tell people what to do or how to trade, but I give them my advice on what's happened to me. Don't do short-term options. A lot of people make bank on these, and they do very well with it. Me personally, I have made a lot of money doing short-term options, but I've also lost a lot of money doing short-term. So from now on, no more short-term. I guarantee you, look at this channel right here. I guarantee you Walmart will probably go to 500 on Monday. Now, you know it won't go to 500. But, Walmart is going to start going up. Now, I made a bunch of money on Walmart last week, so I had to give some of that back. And I made like ridiculous money over the last year on Walmart. So I'm way, way ahead on Walmart. But it gets me that I had to give them back that money. Now, right now I've got calls on Walmart, and some of them are in the red because of this little move here, but they're fine. I've averaged down on some of them, and when Walmart turns right here, then it'll be fine. I actually bought more Walmart. I think it was yesterday or today. I think it was today. Bought more Walmart today, and I'm already making money on some of them. So Walmart is going to be a good stock, but you've got to play it right. And this is not just Walmart. This is any stock. So whenever you're buying, number one, have it charted out right. I had this one charted out wrong when I made the trade. Number one, I did not have this right here, this channel drawn in. I should have had this trend on it at least. Now we did have this drop right here and it went down, so I could have easily made this channel and made it work to where when this thing started going up, I would have known that that was the top, and then when it came down and went up, I would have known this is in puts. So I would have known to have puts on this. So if I would have had my charting 100%, I wouldn't have made that move. I would have actually just waited for that thing to pop up, gotten puts, and went down. And what's sad about this, I did the same thing right here. So the exact same thing, the same trade. I ended up buying the calls on it, and the thing ended up bleeding off. And the following Friday, which was last Friday, I ended up losing, I think it was $800 or $700 and some dollars on it. So I had a smaller trade there. So on this one, I was going to get it back. And then I'll be daggone if it didn't take another $3,800 from me. So that's what I've lost on Walmart in the last 3 weeks. Now, this money that I lost right here, I ended up making a whole lot more right here. It was $8,500 I made on Walmart on a Wednesday last week, so which is this move right here. And so, actually, it was this move. It must have been Tuesday. So, hopefully this helps you. It is humiliating for me. I don't like to tell my losses, but I do tell them. I'm transparent. I will let you know if I lost money. And now, I did lose money on some SPY puts today. They were a hedge that I had from last week, and I bought those 1 week expiration too. So I messed up on two things last week. I bought these for this Friday, which was $3,800, and my hedge, which I knew that money was going to be thrown away when I bought it, but it turned out if I'd have bought longer expiration, then those would have actually panned out come Monday because we're going to have a big sell-off. So I bought 1 week expiration on that. That was $700, so about $4,500 in losses this week that I'm taking, and I'm taking it because I bought too short of expiration. So I hope this helps everybody. If anybody got any questions or anything, type them. I'll try to pull them up. I'm going to stick to this just being the Walmart thing. I'm not going to do ticker call outs, but I'm willing to take any question you want or whichever. If not, then I'm probably going to cut this one loose. If you're not part of our Discord group, get in our Discord group. We talk through these trades, and this trade I never even talked to anybody about or nothing. I mean, I just kind of did it, and I ended up losing on it. For the most part, we talked through about all of our trades. Today we got on target, and someone was asking about how to buy the option. I won't teach that on YouTube, but if you're in our Discord, I teach it. And with that, I actually show how to buy cheap options and make the most percentage on them, and for long-term options. And while we were doing that, I thought, man, that's a great deal on that one. So I think I bought 20. I think I bought 20 target calls today because it was just such a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. And but if you're not part of our Discord, get plugged in. You're going to make a lot of money. People's accounts are being changed. Their lives are being changed because of the money that they're making. And please like, share, and subscribe. I see 2 likes on here. I'd like to see more than that. But if you can get some more likes on here, get me some subscribers so we can make this channel go a lot better. And I will see you guys in the chat or on Facebook. Have a great day.